AITA for saying my parents will never be able to make up for making me feel like I wasn't good enough when they neglected me throughout my childhood, to have more kids. My parents had me, 19M, when they were 19 and 20 themselves. When I was 6 months old, they started trying for another baby, but could not get pregnant. I'm still an only child today, and they have dedicated the last 18.5 years to having more kids. They have spent crazy money on IVF and other fertility treatments. They have neglected everyone else in their lives, including me, in this attempt to become parents, again. As a kid, I was in no extracurriculars because my parents were spending the money to have more kids. There were weeks at a time where I had no money in my school lunch account, and my parents didn't make me a lunch, so teachers had to give me extra stuff they had on standby. Speaking of school, I never got enough school supplies and would be sent in with used pens and pencils my parents had around the house. I used one of my dad's old backpacks for stuff, and my parents were the only ones who never donated a single supply to the classroom. And I got shit for it way too much. They never showed up for PT conferences. They ignored requests from my guidance counselor in high school to meet and discuss stuff. And from my high school therapist, who wanted us to talk stuff out. I never got to attend birthday parties because my parents never made time for it. They never let me have friends over because they didn't want to feed them or let them drink anything at our house. When I got invited over to friends' houses, they let me go and wouldn't pick me up on time. One time, my friend's mom was going to call the cops because it was 4+ hours after they were meant to pick me up and they weren't answering their phones. I gave them a number for my grandparents, and they picked me up. Whenever we were around extended family, all my parents could talk about was fertility treatments and having babies. There were a lot of times when they both said they just wanted to have kids and hated not being able to. Other times, they did say they wanted more kids, but also added that they hated feeling like they had to settle for one. We didn't always have as much food in the house as we should because my parents would do anything to save for treatment. I never got new clothes unless all my old ones were so worn down they couldn't be worn again. One time, I had only 2 outfits to alternate between. And every time they went for treatment, it failed, and they cried and talked about how unfair it was that they were denied this, and I had to listen to it. I spent a lot of my time between 16 and 18 sleeping at friends' houses a lot. I also got a part-time job. Then on my birthday, I went to stay with a friend's family for several weeks, and then 4 of my friends and I started renting a place together. I had contact with extended family throughout, but I always felt like they weren't there enough for me, even though they knew. I told them what was going on. But now they're talking about how my parents are getting older, won't be able to try forever, and have asked me to have compassion and understanding when they try to form a relationship with me. The extended family argues they're still my parents, and I should forgive them for not being the best. And that I should let them make it up to me when the time comes. I told my extended family that my parents can never make up for neglecting me in their effort to have more kids, and I can never forgive them for making me feel like I wasn't good enough. I told them my therapy bill will be huge by the end, and my parents caused it all. They fucked me up and left me with the bill. My extended family said I'm not understanding my parents' position. AITA?